Mzansi, good morning. Your favorite doctor, Gordon Leslie Rawls, bringing you Breakfast Tuesdays. We are breaking fast on a Tuesday. Our podcast that is different and unique, speaking to local entrepreneurs, business people, the movers of shakers of the local economy. We are here to discuss the challenges they face, the difficulties they face. As we know, we are called lazy, but we want to show South Africa we ain't lazy. We're doing it for ourselves. But the places are being flooded. Today, I've got a beautiful guest, a beautiful lady that doesn't need me to introduce her. She'll introduce herself. Sis Lindi here, who will be breaking fast with early this Tuesday morning. And over to you, Sis Lindi.
Good morning, Dr. G.
Hey, how are you?
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Hey.
It's such an honor to be here.
We are the ones that are honored. We are the ones that are honored because you are sitting with your wisdom hair. You know, they say gray hair is wisdom.
True.
So, Sis Lindi,
Yes.
who are you? What do you do? You know, Breakfast Tuesdays is about entrepreneurs, business people in the Kasi. So let's talk Kasi economy.
Wow. That is so good to hear. So, yeah, Lindy's got almost, I can say, you know, you've got all these different shades of Lindy. And today, it's such an honor because sometimes you don't reflect to say, actually, who am I? And I'm a businesswoman. I'm a social entrepreneur in the education and training space. When I go out, most of the time they will call me a human development specialist because I look at SMMEs. We are taking them to class. That means we are making sure that whatever that they are struggling with, you are actually literally try to actually resolve that in class. But over and above that, you go out there and you become the support of the same SMMEs. So I can say, yes, I'm an educator, and most importantly, I'm a teacher in all aspects of my life.
Wow.
Yes.
And all this, you are doing it here, SOH.
Definitely.
So you've got a skills development center.
We've got a skill development center. We also have schools that we have, the deserted schools that we have now managed to actually turn into classes that can be used for skill development.
Wow.
And yes, we do that.
You know, you speak to my heart. Training and development is my passion. I've been in the space for over 15, close to 20 years. It is a beautiful thing watching young people grow.
True.
And seeing this develop from training to becoming something. Tell us a little more about what types of skills do you develop, the type of people that benefit from
So
the
maybe
programs.
let me take you back. Why skill development or why education? As a young person from Limpopo, I struggled so much with education. You know, when you finish your matric and then you have got good marks and everything, and you're expecting to actually go to university, and your parents say, unfortunately, we don't have money to take you there. And I always believe that what you're struggling with actually propels you to do better in it. I looked at it as an opportunity to say, I now need to prove myself, to say I can make it in life. And my friends were saying, no, don't worry. You're going to be a secretary, and we are going to universities, and we are going to actually you will come and be our secretary. And that, for me, was something that propelled me to actually make sure that this is something that I need to actually excel in it. So I worked for Vets Business School for almost 16 years. And that, for me, was an eye-opener to say people are in universities, but they're still blindfolded. The education that is being given is not what it should make us good business people. We are being taught by people who don't even own a business. And you are made to believe that you've got everything because you've got a certificate. And that, for me, was a sad story. And I decided to say in 2017, thank you so much for teaching me. Now I'm going to actually make sure that I do a meaningful training center where these people could be taught real things and they could start something the following day.
Wow. So tell us more about your programs. You have actually developed young people into entrepreneurs.
True.
And you've also developed them with different skills that they can actually look after themselves.
True.
How many people have benefited through your programs?
Sure. The last time I was checking, I had almost 7,000. Why am I saying that? Is because for the past 5 years, I've been actually working with big companies like your EOH and all that, whereby I wanted to actually see exactly what is it that they are actually doing. And for me, I was a servant, having to actually look at the trail of things that are happening out there, so that when you actually start your own, you are not actually reinventing the wheel. You know exactly what is wrong and right. And looking at learnerships and internships and even apprenticeships, you recognize that that is where people could actually be empowered. I've worked so many with corporate companies where they fund, and we are actually running those learnerships, and seeing somebody actually changing their mindset, changing how they see things, because they are taught, the economy that is not there. They are taught the economy that is on TV. They don't know the real economy. I mean, you ask somebody to say, a young boy or a girl to say, are you a right brain or left brain? They don't know. And this person is already actually in their adulthood, and they don't know. Even their parents don't even know whether they're right brains or left brains. And I said, this is where the problem comes. It's got nothing to do with education. We are getting education, but if you're intentional, you are able to change the scenario and say, with this information, I'm going to turn around and do something about it. And they effectuate. And these people, bana by effectuate, they do what they can where they are. And there's a possibility. But the problem is that there are blockages.
Yeah, and seriously, there are blockages. But you've just said something interesting. We don't know whether you are a left brain or a right brain. Elaborate on that a little bit. What is the difference, and how does one get to know whether you are left brain or right brain?
It was so sad for me. Actually, it was a personal experience where I had my son who continuously no, this child is doing this and this and that. It's a boy, and it was at grade 4. And continuously, I'm challenged with something, but I can see, at home, this person loved actually drafting maths and actually doing everything has to do with maths. And when you ask them to actually start doing your chores and everything, painting and everything, they do it with ease. They are so looking forward to actually fix something that it's not even broken. So I recognize to say, but there's something. This child, they're saying they're struggling reading English in class, but this is a child that I love so much. And when you ask them to do something, they do it with ease. He could cook the whole day, and you could actually do work that I cannot do. Then for me, it was like, what is happening? And I took him to a brain gym, and I'm saying, can you actually try and tell us what's wrong with this person? Because we always think it's wrong. And we are not seeing that we've got scientists who are actually seeing things differently. And after that, I even took him to occupational therapist to say, please help. Because they're saying he's making people making laughter out of teachers and all that. I want to find this child is crying out to say, hey, I cannot be boxed. I need to be, I'm creative. I need to make sure that I get things done, and I'm going to hop because I see things differently. And you will not believe, sometimes, your answers come in a different way. There was this guy who is actually training, and I think it was somewhere in 2010, and he was training, and he was actually doing this exercise to say, do you know whether you are right brain or left brain? And I said, I do not know. Even myself, I did not know. And he started doing an exercise, a simple exercise of just looking whether which thumb is going on top. And I'm a left brain because the left thumb is on top. And all what you're doing, it's just that. I didn't have to go to any doctor or psychologist. I just need to see which thumb automatically goes on top. And that means I'm a left brain. If the right one goes on top, I'm a right brain. And that has been now a movement for me to actually show people whether they are right brains or left brain. So if you are right brain, you are more creative. You are actually practical. You should be going to a technical college from the word go and start doing things more practical and enjoy your life. And now my son is a chef because now I managed to actually nurture them. He didn't even want to do matric. I said, don't worry, just go and write it and fail it. And after that, I'm going to channel you. Now he's actually working in big companies because what? We managed to actually get exactly what the passion is, where his passion is, and then he's able to actually do amazing work. And I've been teaching all this time. I've now been teaching people to know whether they're right brains or left brains. And now they need to actually do what they love.
So this is what makes your training institution different.
Definitely.
You are able
Definitely.
to identify where the strengths of your candidates are.
Definitely.
And then hone them into that direction.
Precisely.
And when they get out of there, they're actually chasing after their passion.
Precisely.
But we are here for breakfast.
We are here for breakfast,
It's
and
a
I'm
breakfast
excited to. So I'm not a morning person in terms of breakfast, and I'm trying to get out of that habit of actually having my breakfast very late. So
Okay.
today I'm going to have a muesli, a yogurt, just to kickstart, and let's see how it goes.
Okay,
I'm
looking forward to
excited.
muesli and yogurt. Guys, I want you to remember, like us, follow us. I'm a Patriot TV. Share our page. And remember, if you want to be on the show and you want to join us on our show, info@imapatriot.co.za. And the number here at the bottom, you send us a WhatsApp. We schedule you for our session, and you can join us at any day, at any time. Let us know if you want to be part of this show. Breakfast Tuesdays, the place you want to be every Tuesday morning, where we talk entrepreneurs, business, the movers and shakers, and we're going to be discussing the challenges that are faced with entrepreneurs. We've got Sis Lindi here preparing us in muesli, and we are going to have fun and enjoy our breakfast of a simple nature muesli. Guys, you see my table. It's not decorated with local content. I'm looking for it. I've been asking you to come and display your stuff. Show us what you got. Sure. If you are making kettles, if you are making pots, if you are making anything, bring it to us. Bring your art, your creative things. Beautify this table. If you make acha, bring your acha. If you make Vienna's sauce, whatever, bring it to us. Let us have it on our table every Breakfast Tuesday, so we can also advertise your local business and your local stuff, even your local content. We can even be branded by the clothes you do. So join us on Breakfast Tuesdays, every Tuesdays on our Patriot TV, brought to you by Dr. Gordon Leslie Rolls, every Tuesday, bringing you the local business that moves and shakes the local Kasi economy. So,
wow, here we are. Simple and easy.
Wow, okay.
Awesome.
What is a coincidence? We are experiencing load reduction. Most of it.
Wow. And now
So-
it's actually been normalized.
And then you brought to us and no lights needing breakfast.
There we go. There we go.
All right, so we are having muesli, guys,
Yes.
for breakfast, and I'm going to be enjoying muesli with Sis Lindi while we are having a discussion. So, Sis Lindi, I have noticed Tuguti in the training and development space. We are now moving away from actually having small training and development providers. I had a show with U Devi. And I was talking about the confusion with QCTO when it comes to the accreditation and migration.
Yeah.
It was actually flighted on the Devi show. And you could see Uguti, even when she was discussing with the Minister of Education as well as the CEO of QCTO,
Yeah.
they are lost.
Big time.
The QCTO, I was shocked. Uguti, the CEO doesn't even understand how the QCTO is supposed to function. Nor does he know how the sitters currently function.
Yeah.
But what scared me most is where he got confused with SAQA's role. Where he said that qualifications get removed because no learners get enrolled in it. People are supposed to enroll learners at SAQA. I'm like, does this guy even know what he's saying?
Yeah. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And that's where we are. And it's so sad, Dr. G, that these things are imposed in such a rushy manner where it's not rolled out for a layman to understand. Everything is complicated. Everything it's a system that even yourself as a training provider, you are not even sure how you're actually going to kickstart your class. Fortunately, I've at least I had a knowledge in terms of the QCTO, and I've been part of the people who are actually helping some of the training providers to actually help them with accreditation. And you could see people, they are really losing their jobs. Most of the people are even selling their training companies. Why? Because of the anxiety of what is going to come from the QCTO, especially when you are right when you say they don't even know the processes of how this is going to look like. And when you ask to say, okay, fine, I'm I'm an assessment center. So what does that mean to me? They're not able to explain to you. They're not even going to explain to say, how are you going to actually get the work done with all the training providers? How are you going, what's the remuneration structure? Nobody can actually tell you that. And for me, that was a sad story, but because I understood the objective, and for me, I think that is what we are holding on to say, we're no longer going to have somebody who's, what has been happening, to be honest. I've seen training providers just giving learners memorandums to put it onto a POE and for them to pass. And with QCTO coming in, I was happy to recognize to say, now people need to actually teach so that people can actually go and write a trade test. And for me, that was one thing that I've always looked for to say, if you are a subject matter, you are now going to actually empty yourself and teach people so that they are actually informed. By the time they get out of that class, they understand what project management is all about and what are the steps of doing that. Some, they get out there without even knowing what a gunshot is. And for me, that was a sad story.
Yeah, no. I think that one will need to sit down and have a session just talking about the education and development space because it is so broad. But being a locally based training and development provider, I've seen a mushrooming of a lot of foreign-owned training and development providers. How has that impacted your business as a local Kasi business?
Sure. A lot. Dr. D, I can tell you, since I've been in the skill development space, I've never received any discretionary grant from all the 6 seaters that I'm accredited with. Not even one. The only ones that I'll be getting is when I get to a special project to say, this is what I want to do. And because there are not a lot of people who are actually good in doing proposals, you managing to just get into that space because of that. And for me, it's sad because then you realize that, there's an orchestrated system. And this orchestrated system is to say, we know we're just going to go where money is. And the person who is involved in this discretionary grant, they are looking at who can I give and how can I leverage on getting something from there. And that has been in the open. You will not just get work because you are doing well. You are getting work without knowing anything, without even having a training center that is being, somebody doing a due diligence to say, is it even existing? And all that. And I've been seeing that, and I've been surprised to see people coming to us to actually help them with the facilitation, while somebody else is actually getting the full, funding of that without doing anything. And for me, I'll always say, because when you believe in God and you say, but I'm gonna use this to the best of my ability, and if I have to use this channel for me to actually empower people and see the impact, I'll do it. But it's sad to actually see that things are not happening the way they're supposed to happen.
I had a friend of mine who said one day, Dr. G, one of the biggest problems in the training and development space is that our foreign-owned companies, all these training providers that are foreigners that own them, they do not mind to pay.
Definitely.
And money goes where money is.
True.
So you guys South Africans don't like to pay.
That's true.
So it actually feels into what you are saying, is that because we don't want to pay, we want to do things right, we don't get the work.
But Dr. G, how do you pay if ever you need to actually pay VAT? You need to pay your income tax. You need to you've got staff that you need to pay. And somebody comes and say, for me to give you this business, I need 30%. How are you going to actually be compliant if you continuously paying 30, 40% of the work? Are you going to do a work that is a good work? You will not. You're going to do a substandard work because now the money that is supposed to implement has gone to somebody who's got a say in how the money came about.
And that's where the memorandums get given to the children. Precisely. Because there's no money to pay the facilitators and assessors and moderators. Exactly. So you just let them go through.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, the landscape has changed dramatically. And these people are saying, I like the way you're saying it, because the one time somebody was saying to me, you are busy as a verifier. You are very busy doing all these things, getting us to do all the remediations and everything. And I just got it. I just got this. And I just bought it and I'm fine. And you are busy doing all these things. And for me, I got such a heart. My heart was, bleeding for the fact that you're doing good work and you're trying to make sure that training providers are actually doing what is supposed to be so that they can actually deliver. But somebody said, you're wasting time. You South Africans, you don't know how to make money. And for me, it was like, you know what? This is happening and it's deeper. It's deeper where these people know the systems. They know who. They are paying big. And we cannot. Especially when you know that you cannot sell your soul in things like this. You intentionally say, I will not do it. Especially when it happened in the middle of the project. And not happening in the beginning to say, I'm doing project management for you, but I will appreciate to get 20% or 15% of this, but I will actually deliver 1, 2, 3. And that for me is okay. It's business development. Our white counterparts do that. They do business development and they get a percentage. But it needs to be written. I need to have an MOU.
From the onset, from when the business agreement starts, so we know where we're going.
Precisely.
So this is now having a serious impact on developing our local skills. And it becomes a challenge because the target is now rural areas. If you've noticed, funding is now going to the rural areas. We love that.
Yes.
Because we want our rural communities to grow. I have a passion for rural.
Lindy.
Nabanziba bandazi phako Cofimvaba.
Nice.
Ezantsi lene Natale Dandi. Go Mpangeni, go Richards Bay, go Msinga.
Yes.
I've traveled those areas. Elimpopo, right down to Mpumalanga. They know me in the rural. I love them because Nabo Maspala of the rural communities, I also transform them. I'm a re-engineering specialist. Beautiful. And I'm a training and development provider. So I love that space of always bringing about change and things.
True.
You've made me conscious of left and right.
Yes,
now I keep observing myself. I'm trying to put the left. I'm trying to put this one on top. Happen. It's not working. This one is always overarching. So it's interesting that what you said actually is a reality.
True.
But what is strange enough, I'm a bookworm as well. So they tend to interchange at times because I'm a bookworm. I love studying. I love reading. And at the same time, I love developing people.
Awesome.
And I love looking at creative ways of doing things. But the funny thing with what you said, I can't fix anything.
Because you're a hopper and you're very creative. And you see things that we don't see because you're a visionary. And you are seeing beyond what we are seeing.
Wow.
And for me, just learning about yourself is the first thing. That's why we, in entrepreneurship, the first thing that you need to do, I need to give them a profile to say, this is who you are. Can you resonate with the things that you're doing? Can you start leveraging on other people's expertise so that you can do other things that you cannot do, like administration, if you're a rice brain?
And that's exactly where I wanted us to come to. What do you think about the young people that are out there coming out of the schools, finishing matric? And you heard now, Minister of Education said very well, we are going to have hundreds and thousands of matriculants.
Sure.
But our universities can only take 80,000. So further education and training institutions and higher education and training institutions can only absorb 80,000.
With that, I've always tried to, get people who can really take out this message to say, not all of us can actually go to university. Not all of us should be going there. You will be surprised that 70% of us, we should be actually just going in a spaces of technical, like all technical space and not university. Only 5% or 15% of us should be in university. So the problem is that how you look at the generations and you realize that the previous generation is pushing for us to actually be professionals because they've been wishing to do that and they could not. And now even ourselves now, we are pushing the alpha and the generation Z to actually get to professionals, and they are not there. And for me, that is sad, because the moment you can recognize that we've got a clash in terms of generations, we now need to recognize, to say, we need to actually go back and say, hey, let's check our parenting. Are we actually leading our children? Do they really need to go to university? What I can say is that, working with different universities over time, I've noticed, to say, the things that we are being taught are superseded. That textbook ha isa sebetsa.
Exactly.
That textbook e ngotse ke somebody for making money.
Itlo to someone ing ho bala ka shaka Zulu.
Let's take, for instance, a simple example, Dr. G. You thank you so much. I love that. We're looking at financial, management. Financial management. We have been taught about that. But does that help us to know about money matters?
No.
Definitely not. It doesn't help us at all. People are struggling with just understanding money, understanding how their behavior and their habits.
I like what you said. Financial management. How do you manage what you don't have?
Precisely. And how do you manage poker without having seen it? How is it? Because now you don't have a good relationship with money, but you have never been taught about how to make money.
Because how to attract money.
Even your mother or your father have not taught you to say, you're going to be savvy with your money. I'm giving you the whole 20 rands, because I know you're going to need 20 rands for the whole week. Because they are not okay with themselves in terms of money also. So I also teach money matters, me and my money. I go to all provinces and teaching people about the real things about money, because they don't even know how the financial systems happen. They don't even know prescribed debt. They don't even know. So those are the things that at LM training we are teaching, because we recognize everything that is in the university is superseded. It's gone. By the time you finish, that curriculum haisaliyo, and how we need it. University that you are able to use now.
So tell me,
none.
We've got an audience there.
Yes.
Guys, don't forget, like our page, follow us, and send an email to info@imapatriot.co.za.
Yes.
And also contact the number on the bottom of your screen and find us how to get us. Sis Lindy, audience is sitting, they're listening to you.
Yeah.
They are saying, wow, I want to go to this women's college. I want to get this training. Parents are listening. Yes. How do we find you? Tell us. How do we get you?
Yes. We are saying, education happens everywhere. It's not even a formal education that will help you. It's actually recognized that, did you know that I've actually done my master's in 43? I'm 54. I'm finishing my PhD. So lifelong learning is the way to go. People who are writing books like yourself, they've gone through stuff and they're putting together, they're packaging it for people to understand. So I'm saying today, you can start your journey. You can start using what you've got. You can go to Allison courses and do courses for free. Things that you always wanted to do. You can go to a Coresa and just go and use your data for meaningful things. And whatever that you know today can actually help you to thrive. Knowledge is power. And I always say, as long as you are not applying it, it just remains knowledge. And for me, that is important. Go out there and start equipping yourself first. Before you can even start thinking, I want to be a parent, I want to actually help my children, help yourself first. Because everything happened differently overnight.
Fantastic. But when LM training,
yes.
How do they reach you? How do they find you? Remember,
yes.
People are listening to what you are saying.
Exactly.
And they would love to connect. They'd love to join. And if you have any opportunities out there, they'd like to be part of that. They want to train with you. So share with them contact details.
So we are at JCCI building. We are at Empire. And we also have some branches in Soweto where we go to DG Watson School. That is where we are. We are able to actually give classes there and make sure that we customize programs. We're not giving you, we're looking at where you are, and we are able to actually customize our programs to suit you as an entrepreneur, as a Stockfell group, as a church that is struggling to grow. Not grow in numbers, but grow in depth. Because that's all. I'm also a pastor. I've gone for theology. And while we're doing that, we recognize that you need to come as a holistic, approach and not just looking at one off and kick out. We need to look at the person themselves, and LM training does exactly that, because we have been there. We know how to change the mindset, and we want you to have a growth mindset.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Which month were you born?
September.
Hey, I was hoping you'll say April. Because I'm sharing a table and I'm sharing breakfast with a twin.